Hello everyone. If you like a book that has multiple points of view, if you like a book that'll keep you guessing, keep the mystery going, that's filled with all kinds of horrific images, you are going to love this book. I guarantee you. It was a banger. And we're going to talk about all that. But first I want to remind you that I have books for sale, and you can find the books you see on your screen at the link in the description. All right. Let's get started. All right, so the book we're going to be talking about today is called The Visions of by Alexander Davis. This book is coming out later this month. Normally I like to put a pre-order link down to Amazon, but the link to Amazon will not be available until the 15th of this month. However, you can go to the author's website, find out more information about this book. I will leave that link down below, and as soon as that pre-order link is on Amazon, he'll also put the links to Amazon on his website. So bookmark that site, and on the 15th you can pre-order your copy of The Visions of Bezek. This book is fantastic. It's a dark urban fantasy / horror book. It's set in a town called Bezek, of course. It's a fictional town, yes, except in this world, in this book, it wasn't. It was an actual town, a seemingly normal, everyday town. Nothing really on the outside, nothing special about it, nothing to set it apart from any other smaller town in America. Except now, even in the world this book is set in, it doesn't exist, and we're going to find out why. That's the big mystery. So I'm not going to give that away. But Bezek has issues. There are some very strange, terrifying things going on in this town, and we are going to learn about those things through the perspective of several of its residents. The first thing you should know is that even though this town appears like any other normal town, it is actually run by a group calling themselves the Foundation. And the Foundation has almost created a secretive police state in this town. They monitor their citizens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for a specific reason. Because in this town, there appears to be a genetic mutation. And if a resident is known or thought to have this mutation, the Foundation is going to basically disappear them. They're going to make them go away. Because first they were trying to kind of weaponize this mutation, so they need people for experimentation. They're trying to find a way to make it so that they can turn anybody they want and inject this mutation into them, making them something that for their purposes. But this mutation affects people in different ways. In some people, it gives them kind of almost superhero-like mystical powers. In other cases, it drives them absolutely insane, causing them to go on violent, blood-filled killing sprees. And other times, it can put them in almost a catatonic state of mind. So this mutation is not stable. It affects people in different ways. And the thing about this book is, as we're learning all this, is that this book reads almost like an anthology, almost. Because we are dealing with different points of views, different characters, and different chapters. However, all of these characters are connected. What happens to one character is going to affect the other characters and the overall arc of the story. And the events that take place for one person is definitely going to have an impact on not only the other characters, but the rest of the town as a whole. And I love this author's writing style. The way the chapters, first of all, the narrative, the chapters are short and sweet for the most part. They're crisp, they're clean, they flow, man, they flow. And it makes it very engaging, very easy to read. You want to keep reading. You know, it's one of those books where you'll say, I just want to read 2 more chapters. 3 hours later, you're still reading. That was my experience with this book, because it's so intriguing, and he's really good. This author is really good at holding in the mysteries and doling out answers to certain questions over a period of time, so you're not going to get it all at the end of a chapter. In fact, a lot of these chapters end with the introduction of a new character that you don't know who it is. They just introduce the character, put them in a certain situation, and you're going, wait, who is this guy? And then the chapter ends on like little cliffhangers, right? So of course you have to keep reading to find out more. And you will, because then in chapters coming up, we will find out who that character was. We'll go back in time to his last few days, or his or her few days or few hours in the past, and find out what was going on with them, how they figure into this whole situation, and how they wound up in the position they were first introduced into that made us wonder, who the hell are these people? But this, let me just give you some examples of what you're going to find in this book and what this genetic mutation can do to some people. We have a little boy who can summon his favorite cartoon character to real life from the TV, and these two can travel anywhere they want in this town through television sets. And between the television sets, they have their own little world, like another dimension almost, where this child acts as a king of sorts. He has a throne and everything, and he is imprisoning all the bad people. Now, of course, he's a little kid. To him, a bad person is anybody who's lied to him, anybody who's yelled at him. And so things get pretty gruesome pretty fast with this little kid and his teddy bear, now come to real life sidekick, who's telling him, yeah, that's a bad person. Let's go kidnap them. We're going to take them to this other world. We're going to throw them in cages because they are bad people. You have a woman who can turn people into animals. You have another man who can communicate with animals like a supernatural Dr. Dolittle, I guess you can say. Because he can talk to animals, and he wants to be the human leader that leads animals to take back the town. The animals want to take back what's theirs. This whole town, they feel they've been banished to the woods. They feel all that land is theirs, and he is going to help them do that. We have another man, a very Christian man, a very religious man, who meets an angel. And he believes that this angel is communicating with him that the rapture is near. Everybody's got to get ready for the rapture. And he introduces this angel to his pastor. His pastor agrees. And that situation is going to turn out horrifically as well, as do most of these situations. While these things might sound cool, and these powers are sometimes are very cool, very weird, but very awesome, we're going to find out most of the time they're going to end in bloodshed, carnage, and brutality, because of the nature of the foundation that runs the town, and of course basic human nature, given that much power, how some people will absolutely abuse it, doing the most evil things with something that should have been used for good. But there are so many characters you're dealing with, so many powers, so many supernatural events going on, and everybody, it seems, has their little secrets. But like I said, this author is good at holding out on revealing all those until further in the book to keep you reading. But man, this book is just, it's eclectic, it's kind of weird, it has that dark urban fantasy vibe, it's got a ton of blood, a ton of horror, some scenes that you'll remember long after you put down this book. And sometimes when you're dealing with multiple POVs, if an author tries something, like if I tried something like that, it would probably fail. Because I think you need real close attention to detail, and you got to kind of have a plan to write a book like this. That's what I'm saying. But this author nails it. I was blown away by this book. He wrote me and said, hey, I want to send you an ARC of this book to consider for a review on your channel. I didn't know, normally urban fantasy is not really my bag, man, you know. But oh my God, this was just fantastic. I was blown away. I believe, I want to say, I think, pretty sure, this is his first full-length novel. And it is a banger, as I said before. I cannot recommend this book enough to you. You're going to be intrigued. You're going to be engaged. You're going to want to keep turning pages. You are going to be in this world. You have to find out what happens to Bezek and what these visions mean, where this mutation is going, how it spreads, the effects it has on different citizens, and if there's any way at all to stop it. Because if not, it could change, of course, the entire world. It is just great. I love this book. I highly recommend this book, and I cannot recommend it enough. And like I said, I don't have the pre-order link to Amazon, but the author's website for this book is down below. Check that out to get more information, and as soon as those pre-order links are up on the 15th, you can go to that author's webpage, you can find the link to Amazon, and pre-order it. Do yourself a favor and get this one. It is great. All right, and as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time, spending it here with me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.